Hello again, everybody. It's me, Marcus, and I review stuff. Today, I'm reviewing the song "The Second Law," "Unsustainable" by Muse. So this is off the same album as, what was it? This is one I listened to recently, Panic Station. Right? Didn't really care too much for Panic Station, but this one could be good. You never know. I've been getting a lot of requests for newer Muse, and so that's what I'm doing. A lot of you are telling me like, "Nah, man, just like do yourself a favor." But I'm like, you gotta give them a fair shake, But I will say the last few reviews that I've done by them have taken me from like, oh man, Muse is like top of their game, like untouchable, to like, okay, maybe they got some stuff that's not too good. So still really like Muse and have enjoyed a lot of their music that I've heard so far on the channel. But yeah, fingers crossed for this one. The last one I listened to, though, that one was a banger, I gotta say. So a lot of you are also telling me to check out The Handler, which I've actually done, but unfortunately it got blocked. So I do like The Handler. That is one of the better new Muse songs that I've heard. So I'll try some more from that album and hopefully can find a workaround to not have it get blocked or something. But anyway, I'm rambling on at this point. This does come as a request, so as always, if you would like to request something, please leave a comment down below, and I'll be sure to get to it, as I am this one. Alright, let's do it. This is Muse, Unsustainable, The Second Law.
Processes proceed in such a way the availability of the remaining energy decreases. In all energy exchanges, if no energy enters or leaves an isolated system, the entropy of that system increases. Energy continuously flows from being concentrated to becoming dispersed, spread out, wasted, and useless. New energy cannot be created, and high-grade energy is being destroyed. An economy based on endless growth is unsustainable. Unsustainable.
That was not what I was expecting at all. And although I would probably typically not like this type of sound, I actually dug this song a lot, as a matter of fact. I liked it a lot. I'm not ashamed to say. And again, it's not really a sound that I typically go for. I don't typically like that sort of dubstep inspired sound there, but for me, it just really worked on this one. I feel like it was maybe a weird enough. I feel like it had just kind of a weird flavor to it that I was like, yeah, that's kind of cool. Really with the strings as well, it gave it to me a really cinematic feel. I feel like this parts of the song wouldn't be out of place in like a Tobey Maguire Spider-Man movie, if you will. I don't know if that reference is gonna pop with any of you guys, but that's how I feel. It's like a very cinematic feeling in the strings. The sort of dubsteppy sound there again is not what I would normally go for, but for me it really worked here. I don't know what it is. You get some like hints of Matt Bellamy's genius here, and I gotta say, like the one thing I gotta give Muse props for is even while changing their sound, I feel like lyrically they're still pretty true to their beliefs and sort of what they've always fought for as a band lyrically. So I gotta give them huge props for that, for not really compromising their belief system as far as their lyrics go. So yeah, I think it's to me this is one of the better newer Muse songs that I've heard. So I like this one a lot. I'm excited to break it down. Let's talk about each part. Let's start with the lyrics. So a little bit of information here, and I kind of got the gist of it as well, but it says, this song applies the second law of thermodynamics to the world economy. Capitalism necessitates infinite growth as a means of sustaining itself. The world and the economy, based hugely upon fossil fuels by extension, is a closed system and therefore is unsustainable. The song explains that going on in the future, chaos or entropy will increase as there are limits to what we as a species can do with finite resources and infinite growth-based economies. Wow, very complex for like a song that almost doesn't seem complex on the surface. It's one of those that is so like, again, with kind of the dubstep sounds and the strings, that you would just think like, oh, this is a cool, just like a banger of a song. But really, yeah, I mean, that's a pretty deep lyrical concept there. I really don't know too much about thermodynamics. I'll be the first one to say. But I guess it tracks. I'm assuming it does. But again, I thought it was pretty cool. So let's talk about the lyrics. Most of it came from, I guess, the woman's voice. It really sounded like a TV broadcast or a lecture. And again, that's part of what made it seem so cinematic to me, is that I could picture that. All the movies always have like that they turn on the TV and it's very conveniently on like a news source that's telling them information they absolutely need to know for the plot. So that kind of reminded me of that, and really added to that cinematic feel of it for me. So anyway, all natural and technological processes proceed in such a way that the availability of the remaining energy decreases. In all energy exchanges, if no energy enters or leaves an isolated system, the entropy of that system increases. Energy continuously flows from being concentrated to becoming dispersed, spread out, wasted, and useless. New energy cannot be created, and high-grade energy is being destroyed. An economy based on endless growth is unsustainable. You're unsustainable. So, yeah, I love science, first of all. Although I don't, if I'm smart, it's because I know that I don't know everything. So for me, like I get that energy cannot be created nor destroyed; it is only transformed. But it's very interesting, kind of applying this scientific term to the economy. I think it's pretty cool. So then we get run. The fundamental laws of thermodynamics will place fixed limits on technology, innovation, and human advancement. In an isolated system, the entropy can only increase. A species set on endless growth is unsustainable. You're unsustainable. So again, very poignant, very I think in line with what Muse typically writes about. And although Matt Bellamy is not necessarily singing on this track, to me it was very good. And it's strange because for many Muse songs I have gone on record and said like I don't want to listen to a Muse song that doesn't feature Matt Bellamy, because I just feel like his voice brings so much to the music. But I stand corrected, because he really wasn't featured too much here. and I still thought it sounded fantastic, and I had a great time listening to it. So I'm sort of eating my words right now, but yeah, you know, there's a lot going on here in the sense that like this is very relatable for me. You know, I was just reading today about how people like Kanye got like loans that were meant for small businesses, and he got like between 2 and 5 million, and I'm just like, oh my god. You know, like this unfettered American capitalism is definitely unsustainable. Like, you know, people have been talking about how the coronavirus crisis has basically been one of the hugest transfers of wealth to ever happen. So I'm definitely down for some criticisms of capitalism. I mean, I have no problem with that, and it's true. You know, working people like me and perhaps you watching this have received a one-time payment of $1,200 to last us for multiple months, while people like Kanye are getting millions of dollars, you know, which I mean, to be fair, he's supposed to use that to make sure that he's not laying off people to preserve paychecks and whatnot. But, you know, I'd be interested to see the accountability behind that, and if the government's going to require these people to be open and upfront about where the money goes and how it is spent specifically. So very interesting stuff, and I feel like this is definitely. I mean, it applies to modern life, but honestly, this is a conversation you could easily have the last 30 or 40 years. So yeah, it's good. I like it lyrically. I give it 2 thumbs up. As far as the instrumentation goes, you know, like I said, I don't normally go for this sort of dubstep electronic sound, but for me, I just really liked it. I think it was just weird enough to keep my attention. I think, you know, I've complained about Muse in the past where I feel like I had kind of learned their style and every Muse song was starting to kind of flow together and sound the same to me. So I got to applaud them for taking a risk here and making something maybe a little bit different and maybe something that their fans didn't necessarily want or embrace, because I know a lot of you in the comments have said, you know, don't waste your time with the new Muse. It's all about the old Muse, which you know, I kind of agree with, because I've heard a lot of new Muse that I don't quite like. But for me, this was a good song, and again, I did enjoy the dubstep sound. Oddly enough, I really enjoyed the strings. It seems like they had a few different people on cello here. A lot of that sound came from keyboard. The guitar, I think that part of that dubstep sound was really distorted guitar. I feel like that's what I was listening to at certain parts. So definitely a lot of cool stuff here. They had some spoken word in there, as it mentions here. Apparently a baritone saxophone, a tenor saxophone, trombone. Truly, there were so many instruments here. Look, French horns, contrabass, viola, violin. And so the whole string section I actually really liked as well. As I mentioned, it was really reminiscent of something just very cinematic, something you would see in like a Spider-Man movie from the past. And I say from the past because like the newer ones, I like the newer Spider-Man, you know, Tom Holland Spider-Man. But as far as I can remember, Homecoming had much more of like a pop and rock, you know, modern music sort of thing. Whereas the Tobey Maguire Spider-Man's had like a more classic movie score, you know. So that's why I say it really reminds me of like watching a Tobey Maguire Spider-Man. But I liked it. I liked it a lot. I liked kind of the spoken word sort of news report or lecture type sound to it. It just really made for a very interesting and weird thing. And that's why I say, like, although I don't normally go for this sound, I feel like that's why I liked it so much, was it was different. You know, it was something kind of fresh, and it's like, okay, this is something else that Muse can do really well. And so I liked it a lot, instrumentally and even vocally, I guess. I give it 2 thumbs up. I thought it was fantastic. As far as replay value goes, you know, here's the thing. Again, because I don't normally go for this kind of sound, I truly don't know how much I would actually want to listen to this song. With that also said, I liked it, you know, so I could see myself jamming this one out, you know, no problem. So I'm like, I'm somewhere in the middle. I give it like a thumb up for replay value. Overall, I really enjoyed the song, if you can't tell. So I thank the people or the person who specifically requested this one. You know, give me more new Muse that's maybe kind of out there or weird. That's a little bit more interesting, I think, while not being bad. Like Propaganda was kind of weird, but it was bad in my opinion. You know, Panic Station was just kind of, I think, safe. Really wore its influences on its sleeve and just didn't work for me. But a song like this was weird enough, different enough that, you know, it worked for me. I liked it. So Anyway, that's it from me. If you enjoyed the music, definitely go support the artist. Go listen to their music wherever you can. One place you can definitely find plenty of Muse at this point is in my Spotify playlist. It's in the description below. It has every single song that I've heard so far on my channel. If you want to support me, just all the normal stuff you do on YouTube. Like and subscribe and comment. Thank you so much for your time. Hope you're staying safe and healthy. Hope to see you in the next video. Bye for now.